Alright guys, what is going on, and welcome to Rob's Arcade. As always, I am your host, Rob French, and of course we are hanging out tonight with a little Fortnite with my brothers from another mother, Tommy and Andrew Palladino. Let's go guys. Whoa, hey, calm down, everybody calm down. Alright.
What's going on, man? Dude, it won't let me change my skin, and it's really fucking irritating me right now. Hold on, I'm gonna back out. Re-invite me.
Oh. I don't know if I should re-invite him. I don't think we should.
Go without him.
Yeah. Oh man. There we go. I mean, why would you want to change anyway? We were all rocking Thor.
Exactly. I love this dance I'm doing right now. This beats me.
There we go. It finally let me change my skin.
Oh, you want to go
Tommy
Deadpool?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. So
Everyone
yeah,
go
you were
different
watching
ones.
the Wolverine Origins movie earlier tonight.
Yeah, that movie is so garbage. Like, from an action-packed standpoint, that movie is so good. Like, an action-packed, like, that movie is good.
Right.
But you start looking at the facts, and they're all wrong.
Well, Steve,
Like,
what's
these
interesting is
motherfuckers-
you're not even a comic book fan, and you kind of picked up on that. That's interesting.
Yeah, they said they killed fucking Deadpool, bro. This motherfucker does not die.
Yeah, bro, he's still alive.
Yeah.
Bro, exactly.
Well, okay, so here's an interesting, like, all right, I think even Hugh Jackman said, like, it was, like, his least favorite film that he participated in with the whole, like, spectrum of the X-Men films. But so here's the thing with me, like, so I've mentioned in other videos and even, like, just in general, Punisher, Wolverine, Ghost Rider, these were characters that got me hype into comic books. And I think like the first issue I read of Wolverine was kind of like an early like 20s or 30s like issue. But a lot of the meat that I have is like this like Wolverine 50s through like the 60s issues. And it's all about him. I gotta find the ruins real quick. It's over at this here somewhere.
I bet.
Yeah.
Wait for, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, when I heard they were doing the Wolverine Origins film, I got really excited, and then I got even more excited when I found out characters like Wraith and like some of the characters that are in the comic book were going to be in this movie. And then they just completely butchered like all of it. But like you know, you're right. It's and I have like two sides of my brain. Like when it comes to these movies and things, you know, I kind of look at them as a cinematic fan because I grew up watching movies in the theater, and like, you know, like movies are my jam. So are comic books. And then I kind of look at it as again a comic book fan. And yeah, as a comic book fan, no, I was not a huge fan of that movie, but yeah, like pop some popcorn, Sunday morning, you know, or Sunday afternoon, you know, kind of kick back and watch Wolverine Origins. Awesome movie. But if you're a comic book fan, you grew up reading Wolverine and stuff, don't expect to really enjoy that film.
Oh, man, that was so frustrating watching it.
And then like what they did with like you said, Deadpool, there we go, boom, emote, got it.
Let's go.
And I think that was like, and again, like Ryan Reynolds, you know, he's a huge Deadpool fan from what I understand. It's like one of his favorite characters, and so he wanted to come back and like really do that character justice. And I think he really did.
He does. He does. Oh, I love it.
No, he plays it perfectly.
I
in
couldn't
both
see anybody
movies.
else does it.
And I think that's part of him poking fun at Wolverine and that movie is that, you know, I think them collectively know that, hey, like, you know, this was kind of a flop as far as, you know, the standard and what Wolverine and X-Men has like done beforehand. But you know, again, it has its moments. One of my favorite scenes. Okay, if we're going to talk about the movie, let's talk about one of my favorite scenes. When the kids are escaping, and Cyclops just pulls off his glasses and just blasts that whole front. It just, did you get him? Or
Oh
did
yeah.
I get him? Did I get him? You're like, yeah. So good, so good. And I do like the relationship between Sabretooth and Wolverine that they kind of expand on, because that's a really serious relationship in comic books, and they don't really touch on it.
You talking about Victor?
Yeah, Sabretooth.
Yeah.
And they don't really focus on that in a lot of the other movies, and that's, you know.
Well, you know what's crazy is in the first X-Men movie they have
Right.
a guy named Sabretooth.
It's the same character. It's the same character. Like that character is the same character. Like Sabretooth's real name is Victor. Wolverine's real name is Logan. He's the same guy, and they really expanded because, like, you know, in X-Men he just kind of grunts, but he's like, what, super interested in Logan's dog tags. And it's because, you know, that's his brother, and he's like, I want him, and nobody kills him but me. But yeah, they never really focused on that in any of the. I got some shooting going on around here somewhere.
Got a mini for somebody if somebody needs it. It's just that movie was, like, from what I know now, watching that movie, it's so frustrating.
Well, you know, I think part of. Oh yeah, I got some guys right in front here. I don't think they see me though. They're kind of focused on each other. Oh no, this one does.
MOTW.
There's no like continuity really in the X-Men films like there is in, like, say, the Avengers and some of the other movies. Like, even within you know, the X-Men franchise, you know, you hear Professor X talk about how Magneto knows how to stop Cerebro because he helped him build it. But then you get into the X-Men Origins film, and I think it's actually Hank McCoy, the Beast, who helps Professor X build Cerebro, which makes more sense.
Oh, I'm getting shot at.
Yeah, I see. But they hadn't introduced that character yet, and so, like, you know, I think it was just kind of one of those
Knock
things
one.
like.
Was shaking down.
Yeah. But it's just one of those things like they hadn't introduced the Hank McCoy Beast character yet.
Oh, they're rolling up to the boat.
Yeah, yep.
Where? No, that was me that rolled up in the
Oh,
boat.
that was you. Yeah,
Oh, it
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Yeah, I dropped the
Nobody.
mini, the mini for you.
I have a medikit.
Oh, they're way up over here, over the hill.
Okay,
Anybody
cool.
got sniper ammo?
Yeah, here's 18.
It's got 7. But yeah, that movie, like, I took my cousin Holden actually to go see it. Holden, what's up? You listen to this vid, bruh? What's going on, dude? Love you, Holden. You're my boy, man. Actually, you know, speaking real quick of X-Men movies, Holden and his wife's first date, X-Men Origins, First Class. I took them to go see it. We had a great time. A lot of fun. But anyway, I think I took him to go see Wolverine, if I'm not mistaken, too. Holden, comment in this video if you're watching, let me know. But I'm pretty sure I took him to go see Wolverine and First Class, and we had a good time. We both enjoyed it. You know, like I said, it's a great popcorn, muncher, like whatever. Spend the afternoon at the theater, but yeah, I definitely walked out like so disappointed because some of those like characters, like I said, you know, Will.I.am played the Wraith. Such a cool character, really suave, kind of almost like a black Clint Eastwood in the comics. You know, just real cool, smooth.
Yeah.
Morgan
I
Freeman.
feel like his character was good.
It was really good. But like, you know, they kill him off in the film, and I'm just like, no, man, like you got to keep that character around. Like he was a good character to expand on. You know, Gambit felt really rushed, but I'm also one of those people, you know, like as a comic book fan, I'm just always excited whenever there is a live action interpretation of these things. You know,
I just
Yeah,
got
Shane up here.
shots at my room. Oh, I can see that. Oh, I'm dead. That's my shot.
Oh my god.
there we
There's
go,
that
Doc.
piece from somewhere.
Good job. Should have had him sniped earlier. I missed it. I think I just went out too far from the game.
Yeah, fact.
I need some white heels bad. Maybe this guy's got
I got
some.
one right here. Watch out for teammates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robert, I gotta make.
That should like charge me up.
Going on top of the hill.
Man, I need some white heels, man.
I'm got none, man.
This has been a great
there might be
season
hit-
of Fortnite.
There might be hills up in here, Robert.
Yeah, there's some veggies. Oh, this is where I got. Oh, okay, so right over here, see this bush? We're just marked. Andrew, come over here. Come over here. See that bush where I marked?
You talking about the video you posted on Twitter?
Yeah, this is where it happened right here, bro.
Yeah, peep that shit.
Holden. Again, if you're listening, man, this is where it happened right here, man.
Oh shit, right there.
So funny. You good? Can I eat these veggies without getting killed?
Yeah, knocked somebody right over here. They were,
Oh,
they were
shake-
trying to build
shake
up. No, he's all the way over there in the middle of the woods. They were trying to build up.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
But I shot his ass down.
Oh, you already invented it. I was
That's
gonna say, I dropped bandages.
hilarious.
I'm going down. I'm going down to get him.
Oh, I see. No. Hold on, wait. Oh, the resin. Hold on. Fire.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh.
Oh my god, oh my
Yeah.
god,
Knocked one.
He's literally running me over with the car right now. What the fuck?
Hold on. Come back to me. Come back to me.
Bro, I'm dead.
Oh no, you're in the car. Yeah.
Oh, I got.
Oh my god. That was nice, Tommy. Well, here you are. He's gonna try and run you over. Shotgun.
Oh, how did I miss that? Come on.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm done. Oh, they had that scoped AR. That's what I love. I love that gun.
That snipe was nice though, Andrew.
Yeah, facts.
I sniped that bro right out the truck.
I do like the beginning of Wolverine though, as well, with the kind of explaining how this guy's been around for centuries. And that
Okay,
kind of
so
like,
another thing I don't like
well, that
is
plays
when they
back, goes. Oh, I'm sorry, but it kind of plays back into X-Men too, where they're like, you know, he may be older than you, Professor.
Yeah, and that's the thing, cause like, in the first X-Men, they made it seem like he got his the way I interpreted it before I actually knew how he actually got his claws. They made it seem like when he was battling Stryker, that Stryker gave him his full, like all of his claws.
Right.
They made it seem like the metal ones were the only ones he had, you know?
Right.
They ain't make it seem like he had wood ones before. You only really know he had wood ones before because
Well, there's
you
that
see
wood.
it
They're
in,
bone. They're bone.
yeah. What I mean.
Well, FYI, comic nerd news. So, the crazy thing about that is, I believe in the comic books, like, so Wolverine was basically introduced as a bad guy to fight the Incredible Hulk. Like that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like this berserker with metal claws, blah 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 blah. But then at some point they gave him a back senses. It's like super strong. He can heal rapidly. And then became this thing like, well, what if he had like bone claws? And then he was the only one with his rapid healing factor that could survive this crazy scientific project. And that scene in Apocalypse, X-Men Apocalypse, where they break Wolverine out, and he's kind of like this weird, like robotic head helmet,
Yeah.
experiment. That's actually like the closest to the comic book depiction of Wolverine and Weapon X that they've done so far. And it was really good. I really enjoyed it. But you know, oh shoot, man, freaking sniper rifle.
I can only find shotguns.
Shot at Rob?
Yeah. Boogie bomb, you sniped him.
Oh yeah.
Got you.
Nice. Let's shake him down.
They're obviously teammates, so shake one down.
Ooh, right up the butthole. What was I talking about?
Shaking one.
Open the tree here, hold on. Boom. Oh, eliminations at Holly Hedges. Oh, I just leveled up again. Nice. We're talking about something like X-Men or something about, but
Yeah. When they
You're
put
talking about the X
Wolverine out.
Factor shit, whatever.
Project,
Private X.
yeah, and like how that was like the closest interpretation. There's something
Yeah.
else about before that I was trying to make a point about, and I don't know. Oh yeah, I need those.
Well, you just go back, edit your video, and then you'll be able to tell us about it.
Yeah, we'll have like another conversation about it one day. Be
I'll go
great.
part 2.
Oh no, yeah, we're talking about the bone claws. Okay, so, I feel like that whole thing, even like the bone claws in the comic books, because that is a part in the comic books, was just like an afterbirth. Like that was just something that I think they just kind of came up with. Like, what if you already had claws? They put metal over it, blah blah blah. But I think in the actual first like stories,
Right.
like it was something that was separate. Like it wasn't even part of his body, you know. So that's just a way that, you know, again, comic books and storytelling just kind of changes depending on who's writing it, who's doing it, and the evolution of storytelling over decades. Like even Spider-Man, it's kind of like, you know, changed over the years
So
and the
much,
decades.
yeah.
And so it all just kind of depends. And what's interesting is like, again, like even though, okay, this is a perfect way to kind of bring it full circle right here. Even though there are certain things in this movie, you know, talk about Wolverine that we really didn't appreciate, as a comic book fan, there are some things that they do touch on, and that's the whole, like, you know, amazing thing about these comic book films is that there's so much meat and so much to work with that you can kind of pick and choose and really like do a lot. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man was really inspiring, and he did a great job. And when I go back and watch those first 3 Spider-Man films, that man did a lot of references throughout the decades with Spider-Man. And it's the same thing with Wolverine. Yeah, they were great. And it's the same thing with Wolverine. Like, there are some really great references, some really cool moments in there. And I think, like, the diehard fans are going to kind of cringe and go, man, what a sucky movie. But they're also going to notice those cool little moments where it's like, all right, that was kind of neat. That was kind of cool. But that's, like I said, that's the you know, the cool thing about comic book movies and even comic books in general is like some of them hit, some of them miss. Some just have like cool moments, and then some are like keepers, and you don't want to bend them or break them, kind of like Infinity War and Endgame, and they're just like great pieces of work. So.
The only complaint I have about Endgame, or not Endgame, Infinity War, is that they didn't explore much with the with Black Panther and Captain America, how they got to everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like no, totally. Like, especially like Infinity War. That's a great point because of course, in the game, everybody's kind of like locked up in the Soul Stone anyway. But yeah, in Infinity War, yeah, they don't really expand a whole lot on Wakanda and how that really like. I mean, that's the final battleground of that game, and you're kind of like just kind of thrown into it at the very end, almost kind of like. It feels like, all right, well, here we go. We have to kind of like, last resort, tell this part of the story.
Wakanda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just sad in general that, there hasn't been a whole lot of movement and progression in the Marvel Universe, period. Ever since Endgame, we haven't gotten a lot of... story progression here. You guys good? You got a car?
Yeah, we got my pickup truck.
I think like
Oh,
the only thing we've really done is what Spider-Man, like kind of referencing what happens with, Spider-Man, Tony Stark and all that, yeah.
Alright, probably one of the dopest scenes in the MCU is when Spider-Man creates his own suit.
That was really cool because, I mean, like, Spider-Man is a scientist, and you need to touch on the fact that he needs to build his own stuff. And that was one thing that I really didn't like about Spider-Man in this new reboot, was that kind of like Tony was providing him with all this, like, tech and stuff. But once he came in and started building his own stuff, I thought that was really cool. I'm just going to go crash their buildings. Hold on. Check this out.
$33, $49,
$31.
white. Go in. Shit.
He's dead.
No dog.
That was just craziness on my screen. I don't even know what I was doing right there. That was kind of cool, though.
I know we can't even take that.
All right,
over.
everybody's favorite comic book movie right now. Go real quick. Go. The one that for you was just like, oh yes, perfect. I love this.
That's hard.
I was going to go with the original.
I'd have to say the original Spider-Man.
Nice. Good call. Good call. Age appropriate too. I'm going to go with the original Batman because that was the one that grabbed me with Michael Keaton. And, there's been a lot of great other ones. Like, not to say that's the best one out there. That's the one that grabbed me, I think.
Oh yeah, dude. I love the original Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, totally. I remember my friend took me to go see Spider-Man.
Maguire's Spider-Man.
Oh, he was really good. Yeah, my friend took me, and that was like a great movie where it's like, there's so many cool moments where you kind of like look at your friend like, oh, did you see that? Oh, did you see that? And he said he kept like looking at me, and every time I was just like eyes like saucered, jaw on the floor, just like, oh my god, this is so amazing. Because yeah, it was like that moment where it was like, it all came to life, man.
I kind of like how, like in the original Spider-Man, it was more like he got bit by the radioactive spider and that was his powers. Like, I kind of feel like in the new Spider-Mans, it's kind of more technological based with like...
Well, his suit, he depends a
Stark
lot on his suit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, true. Yeah, he depends a lot on his suit. Like in the original ones, it was more him than anything.
Right, and they don't really show the whole spider bite thing, like, but
yeah,
I'm assuming that does happen in this version, but yeah, it's...
I think it'll happen eventually.
Well, no, I mean, like, I'm assuming, like, he's already got the spider bite.
Well,
but...
because if you watch the first one, he actually is making his webs out of stuff.
Yeah,
well, he does that in the comic book. Like in the
well, yeah.
in the comic book, he doesn't have natural web spinners. He actually
That's
has to
true.
make web.
I'll carry the minis. I got minis.
Yeah,
So.
I understand that. I kind of just like the whole how he got bit and that's how he got his powers.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
kind
no,
of like
totally,
that
yeah.
more.
And like, I like the Andrew Garfield version because again, he's like building his own equipment, building his own shooters. When he has to face Electro, he's got to build his own equipment.
He was
So.
good. I think out of the 3 Spider-Mans, he's the lowest on my list, but he had his he definitely had his part. I have Chuck's.
They're all
Flashes,
three
by
my
the way.
babies. I can't pick a favorite one.
Oh, well.
Or go ahead, Andrew. What's your favorite comic book movie, real quick, before we sign out here?
Alright, alright, I'm gonna name my top 3 because,
Oh my god,
Very-
no! I just want
very
one.
hard.
Why do you got to be all crazy with it?
well, okay.
All
Alright,
complicated.
so top
and
3, Captain America, First Avenger,
Mm-hmm.
Black Panther, and I had one, the first Thor.
That was a good one.
I feel like there's all, like, had me just like, oh wow, this is real. Especially Black Panther. Like, seeing that in the theater, like...
Oh yeah, didn't we go see that
movie,
together, Andrew? Did we see it?
You, me, Ethan, you, me, and Anthony went with Seth first, and then we went to see it with Ethan when Ethan came in town.
Nice.
Yeah, so we saw it twice.
Yeah, I was impressed with the Thor movie because that came out around the same time that I think Green Lantern was coming out. And so
Yes.
far, like, all of these other movies have, like, basically just dealt with superheroes that live in a city. And I felt like that was kind of relatable, but I was really worried about Thor and these other films. Like, once you start dealing with space and these other realms and these other worlds, like, how are they going to, like, how are they going to keep up? And I think Green Arrow, or Green Lantern, excuse me, was a perfect example of how that can fail. And Thor was a perfect example of how that can succeed. The balance between the two realms, the two worlds, and all of that, like, really well done. Great balance of action and comedy. Like, yeah, Thor was definitely a surprise. Really good film.
Yeah. For the first Avenger is where he fights Hydra, right? In the past.
Right.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That one. I watched that the other day. Damn. That movie is so
Yeah,
good.
my wife is not a huge fan of that one, but I do enjoy that because not only is it just a great movie, but it's also the setup for
The whole
Avengers.
MCU.
Yeah.
Nah, Ragnarok is probably the best.
Oh, Ragnarok is dope. Yeah, Ragnarok is so dope. So love that movie. Such a great job on that film.
In the barn up
I
here.
don't think I have any complaints about the Thor movies.
No,
Those
none
were
at
like-
all. No, they're all great.
Those
Just throw down your
All
cup
tomatoes.
and give me another.
those movies were great.
Alright guys, well I hate to cut this off because we're having such a great time talking about all this stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. This has been us guys hanging out, playing this great season of Marvel Fortnite, talking about Marvel movies. Thanks for hanging out with us, you know.
Yes, sir. Always.
Somebody's in a helicopter, and there's people.
Yeah, gotcha. Alright guys, don't forget, as always, be awesome to each other.
25 off one, 51 off another.
44,
A
25.
little behind you.
25
Oh,
again.
whoa.
One on the right's very low.
Alright guys, thanks for hanging out, and until next time, don't forget, don't spend your quarter anywhere else. Later.